Guys, you need to listen. This is just another ploy, yet again. Another ploy. It's a propaganda trap. And if you're not aware and you're not discerning and you don't know critical thinking, you do not think for yourself, then you may be in danger. Okay? Because the new propaganda that's going out, and it comes so quickly, and I want to help you discern it. I'm a marketing specialist. I study sales psychology. I study the psychology of how humans behave. I've been an entrepreneur for 9 years, okay? Collectively raking in my clients over 27.9 million in revenue to date. But listen, that's not what this video is about. This video is about the newest headlines that are popping up. I keep seeing it, and I just sit and discern, and I think, and I pray through, and I say, okay, what my question is always this, even in business, what is the bigger message that's being portrayed here, and what are they trying to get people to do? Because the news and these outlets and these politicians and these people all around the world, mostly in Western society, especially the administration that's currently in America, because President Donald Trump went on international television, because our televisions are international, okay? He went on international television and he said that the 14th Amendment being abolished was actually supposed to just be for the babies of slaves, okay? It was not created to be for the immigrants that are scamming the country, that are getting in secretly, and all of these things, okay? And so this has made Black Americans feel this sense of entitlement and white supremacist pride in the American nation. And that is by design. That's not an accident. And I'm going to talk you through why it's not an accident. This has been carefully planned and laid out. They first targeted this through the music. Do you remember the Super Bowl? I believe it was the Super Bowl or one of those events they do. Both Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar, two very prominent artists that have influence, were up there representing red, white, and blue months before any of this is happening right now, before any wars were announced with America and Iran, before these escalations start happening. Let's roll back some months. They're out here with this symbolic imagery, red, white, and blue, you know, talking about how great it is to be an American, especially a Black American. Remember, our ancestors were descendants of the enslaved. They were pillaged, they were taken, they were stolen, and their one prayer when they were getting shipped out was that they would one day make it back to Africa, and if not them, that somebody in their lineage would make it back. Yes, we are that answered prayer for our lineages, and the Most High has done something that is so beautiful, not just for our family, but he's doing it for multiple families across the diaspora. Hundreds and thousands of us have gone back to Africa, thousands and thousands since just 2005 when it started trickling and picking up. Okay, 2020 comes and it comes to a head, and lots of people travel abroad. Since 2020, even now in 2025, white Americans have been leaving America behind and traveling abroad, and have been saying, I want to go somewhere where the culture is a bit more modest and more humane. I want to be somewhere with a lower cost of living. I want to be somewhere where I can spend time with my children and my family while building my business, by having free time by the poolside, walking in nature, or whatever it is that they want to do. And so I find it so interesting, okay? I find it so interesting that the propaganda play started with the musicians, as it always does, because the musicians are the powerhouse of authority in any system. Why do you think the Satan was kicked out of heaven? He was a messenger. He used to be a messenger of light, but he was the chief musician. Music holds influence, right? And so you had Kendrick Lamar and Beyonce, red, white, and blue. And I was watching the imagery and I'm just like, this is a mess. What are they gearing up for? And this is the moment that they geared up for. This is the moment where it's like, let's cause this division. Let's cause these issues, because now I'm seeing videos that are disturbing to me, to be quite honest with you, because I've never seen such loud division amongst the African diaspora, meaning us born in America, us born in the Caribbean, us born in the UK, and us born in Africa, us born in Australia, us born in Thailand. I've never seen such division like I do right now, because I saw this video of this Somalian woman. Don't know if she's paid actor, don't know if she's just falling for propaganda, not sure, it's hard to tell. A lot of people in these communities do not have the context behind how America functions before coming. And a lot of people in our own communities also do not have the context of how America functions, okay? They don't understand that it's a giant propaganda machine, and so they will spew out these basically pieces of propaganda, for lack of a better term, and they will say, oh, Black Americans, you're in danger of being deported. Black Americans, look, you're not safe either. Look, nothing's gonna go right for you either. The issue that I have with this, imagine if you have somebody that's a friend of me, that y'all used to be best friends, okay? And it seems like every time you have something good going for you, they become jealous. Or it seems like she falls into a bad situation, and then she's like, well, you're not gonna be that much better off anyway, right? That's what it's giving. And these narratives are being pushed constantly. And us as African Americans from America, when we are in the States, we always feel this higher level of stress that we do not want to feel, right? We always feel this tension, this grief. There's always something new that's an issue, whether it's police brutality, whether it's the migrants coming in, whether it's this, whether it's that. But this is the time for our people to, one, repent and come to the Most High. Two, once he cleans you up and makes you whole, he is going to be able to send you out of Babylon to Africa, to Asia, to wherever he draws you in these last days. This is the time where he is sending people out, but they don't want people to be sent out anymore. They said we had to get rid of the migrants. We don't really want white and Black Americans to leave anymore. Because what? If Black America leaves, obviously, the total economy crashes, clearly. Everybody knows that. That's not a secret. The Black Americans are the economic powerhouse of America. Why do you think they enslaved our ancestors? It wasn't just for fun. That's definitely not it. Like, that was a strategic play. And so as we're thinking about these things, it's like, let's digest, let's analyze, and always ask the question, what is the bigger message being portrayed? What do politicians get out of this? What does the American system get out of this? And what do you have to lose when you believe these narratives? Now, for me, I'm not one that feeds into the narrative of, oh my gosh, Africans hate me. Oh my gosh, Indians hate me. Oh my gosh, everybody hate me. I don't feed into that foolishness. That's just literally low level, low IQ thinking, very low vibrational. You should not think like that, because you will manifest that in your surroundings. Instead, what I bring to life through the power of the blood of Yahusha and the Most High is the reality that my African people love me. When I meet Indian people, they love me as well. When I meet Madagascarian people, they love me as well. And they welcome me and say, come to Madagascar. When I meet indigenous Australians that are descendants that actually came over here and ended up in Mauritius, they love me as well. That's the only mentality that we should have. This divisiveness has to stop. And one way to unify right now is just to hit the like button and share this to 5 people. That's one way to unify. That's one way to say, you know what, we need to push positivity. At some point, we have to stand up and say, enough is enough of this negativity. You don't have to be a Pan-Africanist. You don't have to be any label of anything to love your people and to love the diaspora around the world. You don't have to do that. It's really simple. Share love, spread love, and promote freedom, promote alternative methods of thinking, promote the fact that America is one of the worst civilizations to ever exist, okay? If you just look at the culture, LGBTQ, crimes, not to mention slavery and all of the oppression and stress levels. I mean, when you live in Africa, when you get a taste of this experience, there's no reason to go back, especially if you run your business, especially if you're self-reliant, especially if you don't really have to depend on anybody else, y'all. And so I urge you to be aware and to start analyzing every piece of content you receive from people, especially these random big channels, okay? Analyze the content and say, is this divisive? Because we can always tell who you are by your fruits. You may come with a smile, you may seem popular, you may do this, you may do that, you may seem like you got a good talking point, you may seem to unify, but it's not actual unity if the spirit and the fruit behind it is actually division. I know on our channel we have people in India, obviously in Mauritius, in Australia, all over Africa, South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, the UK, the Caribbean, that say, wow, all praises to the Most High. I'm so glad to see Africa rising. I'm so glad to see a family like yours doing good outside of the Babylonian system. These are the fruits of unity that we need to look for. Family structure, positive messaging, and unity amongst the brethren. How good is it for brethren to dwell in unity, as the book of Psalms says? But the only way to dwell in unity is to stop this divisiveness, stop the African versus this person and all this versus that. Continental Africans have to stop. African Americans have to stop. Everybody has to stop. Or at the end of the day, you are in danger of losing your mind and losing your livelihood if you fall into these tropes. The only reason they have these tropes is so that they can extract your energy. It's an energy harvest. Man, I wish I could teach y'all spiritual warfare today. I don't know, y'all. Maybe another day I'll go into spiritual warfare, but they need to extract your energy. And when you put your energy towards this negativity, understand that you must reap what you sow. Okay, so it's better to sow good seeds in the ground. It's better to bless rather than to curse, because if you have found it good to curse and you are calling good evil and evil good, then you will reap the harvest of that. People that you are trying to curse actually don't have to do anything. They're going to sit back and keep the laws of Yah, and they're going to keep their peace because they're peaceful people, but you will heap curses on your own self. Don't be that person. Don't be the person that thinks just because you got a platform or a specific talking point or you're old, whatever it is that gives you a sense of false pride. Understand that there is a Yah in the heavens that sits extremely high and also looks equally as low, okay? I pray that the brethren would receive mercy, kindness, a spirit of loving kindness. I pray that with the hyssop of the blood of Yahushua, you would be washed clean and your eyes would drop these scales of white supremacist propaganda, because it's going to get you nowhere and it's going to prevent you from getting into the fullness of what Yahushua has for you, because he is doing a new thing in this earth today and you can be a part of it. He says, behold, I'm making rivers in the desert. Behold. Do you not perceive it? Do you not see what's coming to pass? I was reading the book of Daniel, one of the last chapters, just a few days ago. And the Most High says to Daniel through a messenger, Daniel's still inquiring of the last day prophecies. He wants to know what's next. And the messenger says, Daniel, go. You're about to pass on. You're about to pass away. Don't worry about it. This thing is sealed for the end time. You're not going to understand. You're going to pass away and go home with your fathers. You're going to be good. But this is sealed up for the last time. These are those last times. We are about to see changes that we have never seen in the earth before, and I pray that you are on the right side of history. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video.